Well, hello. We're going to try this again. I tried the other night. And we had technical difficulties. Everything got shut off. There was lights flashing, flickering. But we are live on YouTube and Facebook. We share my live videos. Well, hello, Amy, Daddy, Nadine. So nice to see you all on here. I was just saying I tried to go live on YouTube and Facebook the other evening and shit was flashing. I was freaking tired as hell. The cat was getting chased by the dog. Yeah, it was crazy. So anyway, I lost. Well, hello, Laughter Love. So nice to see you, Amy. You guys are awesome. You really are. Thank you so much for the buttons. Me and Robin went out last night. We did. We don't usually go out on the weekends, but we went out last night. We were handing out buttons. We was handing out buttons. These things are going to be collector's items someday, people. They really are. These are getting handed out in Dallas, where my father was executed by our very own government. How do I know that? Because I am his son. And I know way too much. They don't want this out. Why am I on Facebook? Why am I on YouTube trying to share my story? Because my story is the most important story right now, as far as I'm concerned. It's called the takeover of the United States of America by our government crime ring. It's huge, and they know it, and they don't want to put it on the media that they own. So we're doing whatever we can to get the story out, and this is what we can. My friend Sean started and actually I consider him my brother. He donated the camera equipment, the background, and the lighting, the microphone, and all of this so I could share my stories. He just started a podcast, and I have the name of it here, so I'll have to get back with you. I posted it on Facebook. Please check it out. Please share it. Us little guys need all the shares we can get, prayers we can get the word out. Costa Rica, hello, from Bullhead City, Arizona. It's hot as fuck here in Bullhead City, Arizona. And this video is not made for children in any way. It should be, because your children should know what's really going on and not what they're learning in their history books. And I'm sharing it. So if you can't handle the real John Kennedy Jr. for a couple swear words, the truth is more important than these swear words. It really is. So anyway, it's been hot, very hot. I was just out watering the garden, and I just had shorts on and my flip-flops. And by the time I got done watering, I was covered in sweat. But thanks to some generous lions, me and Robin, Bubba, and the kitty have an AC now, and it is wonderful. It's actually, I've lived here for 11 years, and it's always been hot as hell. One time I had a thermometer in the kitchen, and the kitchen was like 100 degrees in the kitchen with the swamp cooler running. But bless you guys' hearts. Thank you so much. That was a blessing. That was a blessing from Daddy. So I could sit here and chill out and not sweat. Yeah, the heat ain't good. A lot of people die in the heat. My son died last year in June from heat exhaustion. He was, yeah, he was out exercising. But anyway, I think that a lot of that had to do with MK Ultra. I'd like to talk with you people about MK Ultra and our government. I get a lot of haters. I do a lot of negative comments on both my platforms. I don't have a TikTok platform. They took it down. I had way too many. It was getting way too big. I had 45,000 followers, and they took it down. Why would they take my my TikTok down when I had that many followers? Because the truth was getting out too fast, too quick, and they don't like it. Because I'm basically sharing my life story about the murders that the government has covered up, my family members, the theft, and the theft of billions of dollars that they are covering up to this very day. With that said, if you're new here, my name is John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. That's the name that my mother and father gave me. And the government, after my father was assassinated by people within our government, there's a lot of dirty, corrupt people in our government. There's some good, but it's really hard for the good to stand up to the bad. A lot was going on in my life. But anyway, the government gave me the name David Keith Quigley. They actually forged a birth certificate, gave me that name, got me a Social Security later in life. I got a driver's license under that name, and now I'm fucked. I've been using David Keith Quigley that whole time. I'm trying to read this, Kim, before it goes real fast on Facebook. I'm praying. I thank you for your prayers. I really do. I believe prayer is power. Prayer works, especially when more than one believe. And especially when you're not just asking God to hand you $1 million so you can go party or whatever, Prayers are very important. I'm just reading some of these comments, and you guys are making me smile. Not that I smile too big because I don't have any teeth. My teeth all fell out. I had to pull some of them out myself. Couldn't afford a dentist. A couple of wonderful lions said, hey, I will donate for you some teeth, which is wonderful. But my feelings on that from my heart is there's too many important things that we could spend our money on than teeth right now. I go without teeth. We need a friendship center. We need a healing center. We need the John Fitzgerald. Yeah. We need a church. We need a place where people can go. There's a lot of victims of MK Ultra, a lot of victims of our government's crime ring. I watched federal government agents kill my mother, my sister. They replaced them. It's blood in, it's blood out, it's organized crime. They are the best of what they do. They don't advertise what they do. They just don't advertise. These are people within our federal agencies. And if you want to get pissed off, go to Facebook and watch all these cop videos these guys are making. They keep popping up on my phone on Facebook. I keep watching them, and I get sick to my stomach of how bad communism and the police state and how bad it is getting, where you get pulled over for absolutely no reason. Show me your ID. You're walking down the sidewalk. Show me your ID. So I looked into the Hitler's Gestapo, and that's exactly what they do. With that said, Calaveras County, there was a lot of murders going on there, and that was done by our federal government to recruit children. They get children like they did my replacement. John Kennedy Jr., the whole world knew, was a member of organized crime. He had the bloodline for organized crime. Once he committed a murder, he was in. That's right. Your lover boy, the guy that you respect so much as John Kennedy Jr., was a murderer for the mafia. Straight up. I told you so. What about Donald Trump? I told you so. Right there, I told you so. I don't know if that's backwards on Facebook or not. I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'd do a twofer, meaning I get my phone and get live on Facebook and then go live on my YouTube channel. And I'm stuck at like 33. That should be 3,300 or 330,000 on YouTube. It really should. But that's a great example. I'm exposing the biggest story of the century. I really am. I'm exposing, but people have been so brainwashed and are so delusional to the truth. I get these haters all the time, and I just want to say smack, smack, smack. I do. Wake up. If you guys think I'm here, you haters think I'm on here just for money, I don't want to be on here, trust me. I feel it is my right as an American, as a patriot, as a soldier, to get this story out to the world, to get it out to you that have been lied to. And you all are being lied to. It is huge. These people in power are the cabal, plain and simple. Our government is the cabal. Our government gets the best of the best. I have seen it. They get the best of the best from mathematicians. You name it, they get the best. Rocket scientists, whatever the circumstances is. How about murderers? Yeah, our government gets the best of the best at what they do. And they are a crime ring. And they don't advertise. I'm advertising. Why don't people advertise what they do? Because they will be killed. They will be silenced. Because you have the best of the best. Some of these men don't believe, or women don't believe murder is nothing. Murder is nothing to some of these people. And I have learned that. I'm being truthful. I could unalive somebody and not shed a tear. Well, I wouldn't have to shed a tear if I unalive somebody because they would deserve it. But I could just go right about my day, everyday business, after I did a deed like that. I really could. Yeah. That's sad to say. MK Ultra people. And then I'd like to talk about the plane crash and what's done. But these people within our Secret Service, it's a Secret Service. They don't advertise what they do. When I had a history teacher, when I was, I don't know, 6th grade, our history teacher told us the Secret Service is organized crime. It wasn't in the book. It wasn't in our history book, but my history teacher flat out told us the Secret Service was organized crime. And I can guarantee you it is. That's how they keep their secrets from you. It's a huge, call it a cult, call it the mafia, the syndicate, but they are spread out through the country, through the world. They, a lot of them had to commit murders. And if they ever disobey orders, they will be murdered or they will be exposed for murder. But MK Ultra is huge. MK Ultra is a CIA weapon. It is designed for many things. It really is. For me being an expert on MK Ultra, I still, a lot of the pieces of the puzzle aren't there. But I consider myself an expert on MK Ultra. It's a powerful, powerful weapon. It is being used against citizens. It was used against me. It's used against many. What is MK Ultra? MK Ultra is a hypnosis. If you're not, familiar with MK Ultra, or hypnosis, it's like a trance. Well, MK Ultra is advanced weaponry. You put somebody under hypnosis while they are asleep. It's that simple. If you don't know about hypnosis, go watch Hypnosis. You can put somebody or many people under hypnosis at once. And you can tell these people, you can get a fat bearded man in a room and you can tell somebody under hypnosis, that man is Marilyn Monroe. Go give Marilyn Monroe a kiss. That person under hypnosis will go give that bearded man a kiss, thinking that person is Marilyn Monroe. It's that simple. Well, what they did was they took that principle, these best of the best in our CIA, mind control, weapon of war, and they made it where you can hypnotize somebody while they're asleep. And then you can make them do anything. You can tell them that that bearded man is Obama or Osama bin Laden or anybody. I already used the example of Marilyn Monroe, but you can get that man and you can say that's Osama bin Laden. He's a terrorist. What are you going to do to that terrorist? And this man's just standing there, has no idea. So what do they do? What do you think they're going to do? It's hard to say unless you tell them what they're going to do. And then you tell them what to do. And here's the thing. They do it. I hope you're following me because I'm beating around the bush. I really am. Because we could get into, how about the Las Vegas shooting, these school shootings? All these other things are done so people can stand up and say, let's take away your weapons. But you can get many people under MK Ultra. I believe. I don't have any facts because I was only 3 and I lived a life away from the scene, but I believe the people that killed my father, my uncle, were under MK Ultra. The people that were accused of killing them, and then the people that killed them to cover up the story. It was all done with this weapon of war called MK Ultra. You program somebody, you're going to do this, and they do it. You're going to do this. Oh, you love the president of the United States, John Kennedy, so you're going to go take this guy out. You can put somebody in a chair under MK Ultra. You can program him. You can beat him. You can waterboard him. You can have somebody come in, tell them, it's a terrorist. Beat him up over and over again. Beat him up. That person sitting in that chair getting beat up over and over that is being tortured will want to retaliate. And under the hypnosis state, they're already wanting to retaliate. So you put suggestions in their mind for them to go fly their plane and get some ammunition, go check into a hotel. And if you see little red shirts in that audience, that's the ones you want to get. So how does that work both ways? You get the enemies you don't like, put them under MK Ultra, say, wear a red shirt that day to that concert. It's not hard to figure out, but it's a weapon of war. It's very sophisticated, and it works. It works so bad. I tried fighting it for years. I had me a gas mask. I carried a gas mask around with me just in case I wanted to go to sleep. I did all kinds of crazy things, bulletproof vests, and at one time I was carrying 3 weapons on me all the time. Imagine being a truck driver carrying 3 weapons on you all the damn time, everywhere you get, and then they send you somewhere and you think, okay, they're going to kill me here. So you just flat out quit your job. You have $2 in your pocket, but you quit your job. You get on the phone and you say, hey, I'd really like to work for your company. And they say, oh, where you at? Here, I'll send a bus ticket. Come on. And then they say, oh, well, here's $100 for you to eat on. I did that more than once, just to try to stay alive from these people. And I'm sharing it. So then you get MK Ultra. I've been kidnapped in my own truck. That's right. Kidnapped in my own truck. I drove an 18-wheeler. These guys, and I was chipped. Maybe they didn't know I was chipped. And these chips are so good nowadays. When are they going to start chipping all of us? They already chip your pets. I went and adopted a pet. I went and adopted Bubba from the pound 3 months ago. I guess it's been now. And they put a chip in him right on his thingy right here. Real quick, just stick it in there. Now they can track me anywhere they want to track me. They can track my dog. All they got to do is punch in their computer and they'll know where my dog is. You think I had one of those in me when I was a kid, the very first one? Probably not the very first one, but I was chipped as a child. And that helped me because I was kidnapped. That's the game they play, kidnapping, extortion. You got to remember, our government and our government agencies are organized crime. It's brutal at the top. Searcher 1963 was asking me, when did I stop being controlled by MK Ultra? It's a great question. Like I've said, MK Ultra is the most powerful tool, a weapon of war. It's huge. So who says I've ever not been I could fight it. I've been put under MK Ultra so many times. I've learned, unlearned. I know when I'm under MK Ultra and when I'm not. But they get you when you're sleeping. They get you, and yeah, it's huge. So if I'm not careful and I fall asleep, agents could come in here and really fuck my day up. They could. So I'll probably never be. I mean, we can all be victims of MK Ultra. So with that question, it's never stopped. It never will stop. There's always a threat to you. That technology was sold to a lot of the crime families. It really, really was. And with that said, I was at Walmart the other day. Not that I like shopping at Walmart. You can get a really nice TV for $235 or something. Really nice freaking TV. What about your cell phone? I was going to pick my cell phone up, but I'm on Facebook right now. Look at that little cell phone you got. That little cell phone is making it involve millions and billions, millions and trillions of dollars. I think the cell phone is more advanced than we are. Seriously, where'd that technology come from? How did one of us figure out you can get a TV station? You could put a TV 100 miles away and you could watch it. I've always been crazy confused by that. And I remember being with the Onassis family and the Kennedys and everything. They were always into ancient artifacts, tomb raiders, trying to get the technology from the Egyptians and every other thing. I got a crown. I call it a crown. I've studied it for many years. I still can't figure it all out. It is so advanced. It really is. It is so advanced. It makes a hologram. Can you imagine the Egyptians having a hologram over 2,000 years ago? A hologram. A hologram. And all it is little dots and dashes, lights. If you remember Plato's cave, Plato had a cave. And they did some crazy shit with experiments in that cave with lights and shadows and slaves, torture, all kinds of weird, crazy experiments at Plato's cave. They teach you that in college, but they really don't teach you that, or what really happened. So I'm really bad with names, but you had Plato, and then you had Plato's assistant that taught Alexander the Great all that technology. And then what did Alexander the Great do? 2,200 and something years ago, or whatever it was. Conquered the whole world. You think they had technology back then? It's crazy. Oh, I see Henry deleted a comment on YouTube. Thank you, brother. I didn't get to read it, but I sure appreciate it. Well, hello, D. It's great to see you. Big hugs. Lots of love. I appreciate you so very much. I really do. And Sean is, and I wanted to share his new podcast. I had it up on the corner of my screen because I can't remember the name of it, but I'll get back and share it again. It was awesome. I watched it yesterday. Like I was telling everybody, Sean set all this equipment up, donated it, wonderful camera. And I hope he wasn't watching the other night when everything flashed, all the lights were flashing, the camera went dead, the computer crashed. Oh, it was crazy. But I was still on Facebook. And I forgot where I was going. I don't have no scripts. I just get on here and talk and share my story. Shannon Sheridan. I was handing these out. I got these in the mail yesterday, so I went around handing them out. Robin was handing them out. I was handing them out. I stopped to this one gal. I said, "Here, I'd like to give you a button." And she said, "Well, Robin just came by here and gave me two." I was like, "She's one step ahead of me." Quiet journey, people. You you haters, people that get comments, oh, you can't be John Kennedy Jr., send them to the Quiet Journey. See my documentary, documentary. Yeah. Anyway, I was talking about MK Ultra and the power of MK Ultra. With that said, it's a huge, powerful tool. You can use it on anybody, and you can manipulate a human being to do things they would never usually ever do or ever think about doing. Now, I wanted to talk about the plane crash because I get a lot of hate. I've been in many plane crashes, so I got to be specific. When I was 13 years old, I was flying with my stepbrother, Alexander Onassis, to the island. And just to make a long story short, because I had to climb in the plane. They were leaving without me. They were leaving without me because Alexander had a gun stuck to his head, and the guy in the passenger seat was telling him to go because he had already told me I could go to the island with him. Usually we brought a lot of supplies to the island with this airplane, and a lot of that was alcohol. My job was to load that plane alcohol through the back door of that plane, so I knew the back door. So after my brother told me I could go, I was 13 years old. He said, you can go with us. So when I saw that airplane pulling out of the hangar, I was like, oh, fuck no, you're not leaving without me. There's no way in hell. I already got permission from you. I got permission from Jackie. I was going to the island on a plane ride. So that plane started coming out of the hangar, the garage that it was in, whatever you want to call it. And it started going down the runway. I said, fuck that. I ran towards the plane. I ran towards the little door where I would load alcohol and supplies in. That was my job. These rich people, they work you. That was my. I worked my ass off as a kid, so I knew the door. I crawled in the door, and in the center of the fuselage, I'm crawling through all this crap, and I get there and I see a gun pointed at my stepbrother, right at his head. I can describe the gun to you right now, and it was a rusty gun. It's like a World War I gun. And it wasn't a revolver where you have the round cylinder. It was actually a magazine in the revolver. I think it was a German World War I. Anyway, I could describe it. I could look it up on the internet if I wanted to. I could describe it. I didn't think it would shoot. I looked at this old rusty gun pointed at my stepbrother. We're taxiing down to the runway. We just get in the air. And I was like, that gun will never fire. And then we're in the midair on above the runway, and he shot my brother in the head. Well, you're not going to hear about that unless it's from me, because Aristotle Onassis covered that up. Aristotle Onassis was a Greek billionaire. When you're a billionaire, you can cover a lot of shit up because you own everything. Well, anyway, he did not want me to ever share this story, and I am. He actually threw me up against the wall in the hospital and told me never tell anyone this story because it would make the family look weak. When I say the family, you have organized crime families. They're always wanting to take power away from each other. When they killed my stepbrother, that took power away from Aristotle Onassis from looking so powerful and tough. It's like, yeah, they can get to him. Well, they did get to him. So that was the plane crash in Greece when I was 13 years old. I'd been in a couple other military crashes and other things. I'm lucky to be freaking alive. I don't know how I am. I feel like I'm half dead half the time just because I'm so sore. But that was that one. I was 13 years old. We were in Greece, and they covered it all up. And a lot of the people that cover it up are photographers for the White House. Yeah, the CIA. But I was walking after I'd got out of the hospital. I had a cast on my arm because I broke my arm in that crash in Greece. And the Greece military pulled up on the runway and asked us what we were doing there. And then I heard them say in the Jeep, oh, that's the boss's son. So they let us continue of what we were doing. I don't even know what the fuck we were doing. I'm standing in the middle of the runway with a broken arm, and they're looking at the crash site or whatever they were doing. They covered it up. Covered up, people. You got that story from the real John Kennedy Jr. You ain't going to hear it nowhere else unless they decide to release my story and share it to the world. Okay, so now let's talk about 1999. The assassination of John Jr. The whole world knew. His real name was George Onassis. And his wife and his wife's sister. Let me explain this to you because I was there. I did live through that crash. I don't know how. I was prepared for that crash. I had my life preserver on that crash. I had my body resting up against the back seat, but I still think I dislocated my shoulder in that crash. It was a horrific crash. We hit the freaking ocean hard. But here's the thing. MK Ultra is a powerful tool. They can put you under MK Ultra and you're dreaming. Like I explained earlier in this dream. Yeah, that is where Alexander was killed in the plane crash. They say he died of a head injury, but they said it was a head injury from the plane crash. He was dead from a head injury because a bullet spun around in his brain. True story. I was there, 13 years old. At 13, it was kind of horrific. And then my stepsister thought I had something to do with it. I had to go tell her to talk to Aristotle Onassis, her father, about it. A lot of crazy shit going on when you're 13. A lot of pressure's going on in your head when you're 13. And so anyway, back to the plane crash. I was a truck driver. I drove truck to stay alive. If you do not know, the trucking industry is all controlled by organized crime and a syndicate. All these big major trucking companies, they all have mafia rules. You get a big company like J.B. Hunt. They're in charge of the rails, the rail lines, the railroad. You get other companies like Warner and all these other great big trucking companies. They're all controlled by organized crime. You get little trucking companies that start up. They're only allowed to go so far, so many places. All the loads are spread out. The bigger the companies like Warner, the more up they are in organized crime. Basically, they're at the top of the chain of the syndicate, but they're all controlled. So with that said, I kind of felt safe as a truck driver. When I say I was a truck driver, I'm guessing, I'm just being truthful. I had at least 30 truck driving jobs at different companies from trying to stay on the down low. And it gets real, you got to share a 10-year driving history. So the more jobs I've had, the longer my resume was, and I don't do paperwork. I've had to get help. But anyway, I probably had 30 truck driving jobs. One of the longest ones that I felt safe at until they wanted me to travel on was I hauled mail up and down 81 on the East Coast from Carlisle, Pennsylvania to Virginia. 4 times a week, I would run down there, stay in a motel, and come back. I felt safe at that job because it was a United States federal job, basically. And then when things got really wild, I had to quit. It's almost like our CIA does these games and plays these training things right in broad daylight, right in your hometown. And a lot of people die. And it's like military training in the real world, not on a base or anything else. Our Secret Service and things, they train right where they want to train you and how they want to train you. Anyway, MK Ultra, people. Like I was saying, it's a powerful, powerful tool. I was kidnapped. I had two guys come put a pillowcase over my head when I was sleeping. They both came. One came in one door, one came in the other. I woke up and they shoved a pillowcase right over my head. And I was beat and tortured, and they tried to get information from me. I was chipped, so maybe the good guys came and got me. But MK Ultra, like I said, it's a sleep. It's a deep sleep. They put you under while you're sleeping. So when you go back to sleep, you don't remember a thing unless you've been done it over and over and over and over and over again, like I have done it. And then you try to remember what just happened. It's the same way if you have a dream. And I've had some weird dreams, heavy dreams lately. But it's the same thing like when you wake up and you had a dream about you were running around the yard and you had a puppy running around the yard and this and that. Okay, just a simple little dream of a puppy running around the yard. Do you really remember it when you wake up, and how soon do you forget it? And sometimes it just goes right out of your mind. Okay, I had a dream a puppy was running around. Yeah, no big deal. Anyway, it's not that hard to explain. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with it. But anyway, I think I shared the story of MK Ultra, where I had parked at a truck stop. They put me under MK Ultra, and then the federal agents came and got me out of the truck, took me to a site where they murdered somebody. They had me there. They showed me that they murdered somebody. They showed me the organized crime members that were there. And then they put me back in the truck, and I woke up the next day. And the only reason why I remembered they had done that is because I had cement on my hands. I'm a truck driver. I wasn't playing in cement for years, except that night when they took me there. So I had all the cement on my hands. It was drying my hands out. I'd laid bricks. I laid cement. I was a construction worker. I knew what cement is. But they forgot to have me wash my hands, and it dried my hands out, cracked my skin. And I woke up and I was remembering all this stuff. So what did I do? I hopped in the bunk of the truck and I sat there and I tried to go to sleep. I did. I tried to go to sleep. But right before I went to sleep, I tried to remember what happened. And all these memories flashed in of what happened the night before. I was remembering the dream of MK Ultra that was not a dream. And I can still see the faces. I still see the lady walking up with the man. I still see the guys in the background. It's a very powerful tool. So anyway, I was in New Jersey at a truck stop waiting for a load. How did they get me there? Because I just told you the trucking companies are the syndicate. They are run. They are told what loads they can get, where to bring them. So it's organized crime. So I was placed by the trucking company and the dispatch to be in New Jersey. This is how complicated, this is how sophisticated the organized crime is. It's feng shui. Our government can get a human being and place them. It's an art to these people. It's an art to people within the syndicate on how they can place people, how they can kill people. It really is. Some think they're artists on how they can kill and take someone's life. So anyway, what they had me do, without my knowledge, of course, they had me waiting for a load in New Jersey to pick up with my truck. Yeah, I was just hanging out at a truck stop for a couple days. So what happened when I woke up? They had put me under MK Ultra. Now and it's really hard to tell when somebody's, usually they're just like in a hypnotic state, like they just woke up from a nap. So they put me under MK Ultra at this truck stop in New Jersey. Next thing I know, John, the man, my stepbrother, the whole world knew as John was there. I believe it was Adam that was there, my cousin that had probably been murdered and replaced also. He was there. There was a government agent that was there. They said, come on, let's go. We're going to go to a wedding. We want you to go. David Quigley, we want you to go to this wedding with all of us. And I was like, I don't want to fucking go with you guys. You stole my identity. You fucked my life up. You stole all this money from me. You killed my fucking loved ones. All of them. My mother. And you want me to go to a wedding with you. And then I heard Wayne in my head saying, if you don't go, you're never going to find it out what's the plan and what they're going to do. So I had already told him, I don't want to go with you fuckers. You're up to no good. So then being under MK Ultra, I heard Wayne's voice say, yeah, you got to figure this shit out. You're no pussy. You're no coward. You're a soldier. Figure out what the fuck that's going on. And I did that. I said, okay, I'll go. I don't want to go, but I'll go. So anyway, we went to John's house, and I was under MK Ultra. I seen a few things, crazy shit. We ended up going to the airport, escorted by federal agents that were in control of MK Ultra. We all got on the plane. They were trying to hide me on the plane so no one saw I was there. Why did they do that? Why didn't they want anybody to know John Kennedy Jr., me, David Quigley, was on that plane with them that day? Because they were planning on killing me at the wedding. That's the only reason why they went to New Jersey to pick me up, to put me on that plane, to fly me to the wedding that day, the next day, to kill me. They have their little rituals, their little cult sacrifice. Big deal to kill fucking the real John Kennedy Jr. My stepbrother George never wanted me alive to share this with you today. Well, here's the thing. These government agents put us on that plane. They put us on that plane, all of us. They sabotaged that plane. I'm talking the plane crash of 1999 now that killed John Kennedy, George Onassis, the man that you all thought was the real John Kennedy Jr. They put him on the plane to kill us all on our way there, to kill his wife, to kill his wife's sister, and to kill me. It didn't work. It killed them, but it didn't kill me. So anyway, we take off. We're in the air. And John all of a sudden says, I can't steer the plane. This is fucked up. I can't turn it. I can't steer it. And we were going in a left-hand turn. And you people can tell me, oh, you were fucking going in a left-hand turn. You're going straight. You're going right. You tell me whatever the fuck you want. I was on the plane. So whatever the FAA or any of these government agencies faked that day or is telling you bullshit, you're getting it right from the source right here. We were in the air. It was dark. We could not steer the aircraft. I said, John, just slow the fuck down. I said, we're just making a big circle. Just slow your airspeed down. And we'll just keep going in a circle until we crash. Better to go slow and crash than fast and crash. Well, he didn't hear what I was telling him because he was arguing with his wife. That's right. They were motherfucking each other. You know, shut the fuck up, bitch. You don't, I can't steer the plane. We're all going to fucking die. Blah, blah, blah. They were going at it. They were going at it. And let me tell you something before I stop. These were people in organized crime. These two were killers. They were out for the money. John, the whole world knew, and his wife would murder people to steal money. He was mafia, as hardcore mafia as it gets. I've seen it. I heard it. They were planning to kill me. I heard it, and I still got on that fucking airplane. So we're all on that airplane. These government agents wanted us dead. End of story. End of story. I believe Bill Clinton was behind a lot of that wanted the story gone because people like Bill Clinton had stole so much Kennedy money. They didn't want me ever coming out sharing how much money these people stole and how they steal it. These people in government can steal it and get away with it and murder and get away with it. So anyway, what they did to share to the families, because it's an art, killing these people. And like I said, it's an art to these people. It's like Ben Sway. They get off on making a good killing with a good meaning. So what did they do? They got into the hydraulic system of the airplane, and they placed a quarter in that mechanism. Now, where it was, I don't know. All I know is when I was there, somebody came back with a quarter and said this was lodged in the steering mechanism that would not let that plane fly straight. It was the quarter. George Washington is on that quarter. George Magazine, the magazine he started, George, his real name, George. He sat next to me in school when we were little. His name was George. Well, he had stole so much money working for the mafia, he killed the wrong people. They have rules in the mafia. He wanted to be like John Gotti. These people like John Gotti, people like John Kennedy that are in the mafia, they kill to get to the top. He wanted to be the John Gotti of New York. They'd already made him a district attorney. So they wanted us all dead. And they did, except me. I survived. I'm chipped. Just like a dog is chipped. I've been chipped my whole life. It's not like they don't know where I am and how to find me. So anyway, I'm in the ocean now. I did save the sister. I did. I had been in SEALs training. I had been, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but when I managed to get that door open, the plane had not sunk yet. It had hit the fucking ocean fucking hard like a brick. But I managed to get the door open, and on my way out, I grabbed her by the shirt and I drug her with me. She was still conscious. She was fighting me. She was saying she had to go back for her sister. And I was like, no, you will die. She started fighting me. I said, fuck it. I don't want to fucking drown myself. And they will pull you down. Somebody that is drowning will pull you fucking down and drown you. So I just said, fuck it. Go after your sister. They all died. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I tried. I tried to do what I would try to do every single time, and that's save a human's life. So anyway, I'm in the ocean. The waves are pretty big because I was fucked up. It hurt for me to turn my head. My shoulder, I think I dislocated my shoulder. I smashed my shoulder into the back seat when we freaking crashed. I had already put my life, the minute he said he can't steer the plane, I was under the seat. I was putting my fucking life jacket on. And I think I told the sister to do the same. But anyway, when we crashed, I got out. The waves were huge. I didn't know if I was bleeding or not. And I thought, they tell you a shark will find you with a drop of fucking blood. One little drop, a shark will come eat your ass. So I'm in shock. I'm injured. I don't know if I'm bleeding, but I'm thinking I'm going to get ate by the fucking sharks. I finally went in shock. I remember getting pulled up, but this has been hours and hours in the ocean. You put your arms like this over your life vest so your life vest don't just flip up. When the wave would come up when I was like this, I would look up and turn my head, and it hurt. It still fucking hurts. That just hurt. But I would look for light on shore. I thought I had seen some lights on the shore, so I just started kind of kicking my feet that way, thinking the sharks are going to eat my feet at any time. But then I was rescued. And I was in shock by the time I don't even know how many hours I was in the water. They pulled me up. They started covering me with blankets on the deck of that ship. And then I was out. I was out. I think the agents had me in a hospital room on aircraft carrier, I believe. But anyway, MK Ultra, people. I was under MK Ultra when all that happened. It's not that I don't remember it. It's just the hypnosis part of your mind at the time on the placement where they don't want you to freaking remember. But anyway, people really need to realize MK Ultra is a powerful, powerful, powerful tool. With that said, people, I love answering questions. Some people say, "Oh, I just ignore the questions," but I love answering questions to try to get my story out to the truth. Yeah, well, that was probably everything that Hillary did was planned by our shadow government. They are all puppets of the syndicate to the shadow government. So it doesn't matter if it was Hillary or Bill or anybody else, they're still being told what to do by the shadow government of the secret societies that really run this country. And if they don't do what they say, they are unalive, they're put masks on. And yeah, but I do believe Bill Clinton was behind that. And why do I think, and I'm just going to say it, I don't have the facts. All I have is what people told me. You had George Onassis, the man that stole my identity, John. The whole world knew him as John Kennedy Jr. Well, then you had my mother that had been murdered in 1975. She had a body double. That body double was laundering all that money. So anyway, you have me hiding out. You had John, the whole world knew. Caroline, the whole world knew. My mom, the whole world knew. But they weren't them. They had no Kennedy blood. They were placed by the organized crime in our government that's the best of the best. So when John and his wife wanted money, what do you think they did? They're greedy. They were greedy. They really were. They wanted money. Well, who had millions and millions of dollars that would be theirs if they committed a murder? That's right. His very own mother that wasn't his mother. He knew it wasn't his mother because Maria Callas was his mother. Aristotle Onassis was his father. So the Jackie Kennedy that he called mom all those years was not his mother. Maria Callas was his mother. So him and his wife got together. Let's kill Jackie, and we'll get millions of dollars. And they did. And they had help with Donald Trump selling all those possessions at Trump Tower. Sorry about your feelings, people. Fuck feelings. Let's go with the truth here. Donald Trump helped sell all their possessions, my loved ones' possessions at Trump Tower. They use identity theft. The cabal, the syndicate, organized crime uses identity theft. That's the biggest moneymaker they got going on. It really is. So, John, the world knew, said, let's just kill Jackie. We'll poison her. Not stomach cancer, people. It's called poison. When she died, they got, him and his wife, got millions and millions and millions of dollars. Bill Clinton, let's go back to Clinton and the plane crash death. Okay? Was her lover. You can see it in the photos. They were in love. Well, what would I do if somebody killed my lover? What would I do? You're damn straight I would. And that's what Clinton did, because he had the power of organized crime to stick a quarter in the steering mechanism and kill the son of a bitch that killed her. Organized crime has rules. You don't go after family members. They are family. They have sworn an oath, and she got a little poison that she shouldn't have, so he could get all those millions and millions of dollars. With that said, I'm going to hang up, people. I hope you all get what I'm sharing here. I really do. This is on Amazon now. The Historian's Tale. Let's make this book number one, people. That's me on the front. How can we get my story out? Purchase this book. Let's make it number one. This is the first book, Stolen Identity. I love this book. This is huge. This is world news right here. World news that they don't want you to know. You go on Amazon, you can get them both. I think it's free shipping. I think it's free shipping if you buy them both. I'm not sure. But with that said, when you buy a book, I get a couple dollars and I can pay my bills. Yeah. If you want to hear my story, please go to thequietjourney.tv. Yeah, if you want some bumper stickers, write me. You can go to my website and you can buy a pennant. That really helps. It really does. You buy a pennant, that's $100 in my pocket to pay bills with. and survive and get my story out more and more and more. You all have a wonderful, blessed day, people. Thank you for joining my channel. I can get justice. I can. It's not going to be on Fox or CNN or ABC, but it'll be right here on Facebook, right here on YouTube. And I'm begging for your help. Just hit that share button. One share at a time, we can get justice for all what I've been talking about, all the murders and all the cover-ups of people in our government that are doing it, that are hindering my story, that are hindering me from getting justice. And that's my plan. Q has no plan. Q's plan is a big stall. And if you're smart, just remember my last name they gave me was Quigley with a big Q. The big Q. So you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you so much. Just hit the share button and make a video. On Facebook, if you make a reel, it's better because more views, more reels. I'm getting a lot of followers. I wish I wasn't so hindered right here on YouTube, but if we can share it, and I would sure appreciate it before I leave this earth and go see my family members. I would really like to know that I got justice. I really would. So anyway, please just help me hit the share button and have a wonderful, blessed day. Follow, share, and all love to you guys. You're all wonderful. I did not know there was so much love in this world, and now I'm seeing it. I really, really am, because my story's getting out, and I'm getting a lot of people with their love blessings and their prayers, and you all make me keep going. You make me keep going. So thank you with all my heart, and so God bless you all. Peace out, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you.